I had an existential breakdown.
Okay.
So I sort of became very aware of the concept of no longer being conscious
Right.
for 10 years now.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. We're gonna go into a pretty deep question.
Yep.
Well, like, what would you say in your own words? Like, what is the meaning and purpose of life for you?
Well, for me, that is a very interesting question because I've been having a lot of struggles with that in the past couple of years. So I've had a lot of time to think about it. And I honestly think that it all just comes down to like the joys of life, the little things, the big things, the people you love, the things that you love to do, and just enjoying that as much as you can, um, without anybody telling you what you can and can't do. Um, just yeah, purpose is just to live your life how you want it and get all the joy that you can.
Okay. Amazing. And you said that you did quite a bit of searching on that.
Yeah,
So, what caused you to like search for the purpose?
I had an existential breakdown.
Okay.
So I sort of became very aware of the concept of no longer being conscious.
Right.
And that was very scary and very strange to think about.
Yeah.
So it kind of just led me to a place where I had to try and think, okay, well, that's going to happen anyway. What can I do in my day to day life to make it so that's not so scary? Like, how can I live out
Yeah.
my life the way I want it
Yeah.
for it to all be worth it when we no longer exist?
And when you say no longer conscious, what do
Yeah.
you mean by that?
So I I mean when we pass away,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but to me it wasn't dying that was scary. It was the fact that we have a consciousness, we think,
Hmm.
and it's the concept of how trying to understand how we can no longer be conscious.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, obviously, since you pursued that, was there anything that caused that breakdown? Was it like because you were working too much? Was it because you were doing things that you didn't like? Like, what caused it? Do you think?
So it was a mix of lots of things. I've struggled with my mental illness since I
Okay.
was like 13. I was working a lot, undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah.
So overworking myself to a capacity that other people don't because they don't have the same ability to put as much effort in, the state of the world,
Yeah.
turning 30, thinking about whether or not I do actually want to have children or not is something that I'd always just assumed I would do,
Yeah.
but then actually taking a minute to realize, wait, what do I want?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and all of these things alongside like some family issues. And I think it was also just a long time coming from being a people pleaser and not
Mm.
putting myself first for most of my life.
Yeah. Amazing. No, I relate to a lot of that stuff. To be honest, I think we all act from a place of if there's not been healing in our life, if we act from that place, right, we're doing it like you say to please people and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely resonate on that. You mentioned there that like you don't know what would happen when you die. So do you know what would happen now when you die?
No, I still don't know. And it's still something that scares me and it's something I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life.
Okay.
It doesn't really go away. It
Yeah.
just gets easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So I have,
I used to have a fear of death for many years, so I
yeah.
definitely resonate. I don't anymore.
hmm
Um, well, like, would you say that there's like a God or a higher power?
No, I think that's what's so scary is that I am a very strong believer that there is nothing after we die.
Okay.
So I can't comfort myself with the thought of an afterlife or like any sort of afterlife, me passing on in any way.
Yeah.
And I wish I could
Yeah.
because it would
What
make it
would you
easier.
say that, like, if you're so confident in that, what would you say that um, the reason why you're not scared of like, not trying to get my question out. Did you not scared? Do you get what I'm saying? You're not scared of like, you're not scared of death, right?
It's weird. It's not like the main thing. When I get worse, I get more scared of death.
Right.
I
It's
think
like depending on your like mental state.
yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, I have also become I'm not scared of dying of old age.
Right.
I am scared of dying young
Right.
by
And
accident.
what would you say is causing that? What do you think?
Um, I think it's my like feeling that I don't feel like I've really reached any sort of level of my potential that I thought I would
Okay.
have, or I've not done the things that I wanted to do
Yeah.
despite going to uni, being married, having a house, all of
Yeah.
these things that are just like, yeah, you've done it. Like, I realized that I hadn't done all the stuff that actually
Right.
matters to me rather than matters to society.
Okay. Yeah. And do you feel more content with that now, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely more content with it because I've taken steps to like reduce my load and to do things that like make me feel like I'm contributing more to the world,
Mhm.
but I'm still not all the way there. Like it's
Yeah.
still something I have to deal with every day.
Yeah. No, I get that. And do you still have like mental health struggles?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's gotten like I was in a very bad place when it happened and I'm no longer there,
Okay.
but I'm still
Yeah. And what
dealing with
way
that.
does it affect you? Like, is it anxiety? Is it depression?
So at the worst of it, it was mostly anxiety, but
Yeah.
depression is the like consistent through
The one that,
everything.
that still carries on a bit. Yeah.
Um Alongside dealing with ADHD,
Yeah.
the demotivation, like not being able to complete day-to-day tasks,
Yeah.
levels of motivation changing throughout the day, which is both my ADHD and my depression, and they basically stir each other on.
Yeah.
I definitely still struggle with anxiety, but more of like a social side. Like I don't like to answer the phone to
Yeah.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I share a small testimony of like something that changed my depression?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I battled with depression for like 15 years, and
Yeah.
I had moments where I was chasing, like I did therapy and all this kind of stuff. And I was also looking into a lot of like natural healing modalities just because I was like, I was just desperate for like freedom, desperate for peace. That chased me down like an 8-year rabbit hole of like doing different like psychedelics, plants, and all just things like breath work, meditation, all that kind of stuff, right? You've probably heard of some of them you might not have. I did that for 8 years, but I felt like there was some healing there, but I was still struggling like mentally, still had depression, still had like an addiction with weed and stuff.
Yeah.
Then I had a couple of friends that had a similar background to me. They shared a testimony. And then I was like, you know what? I'm kind of desperate. I'm just going to like go with it and just see what happens. So just over a year ago, I surrendered my life to Jesus,
Yes.
but I didn't really like the idea of like religion or like the way I used to have this really bad perception of it because I believed in God, but I didn't believe in it in like a religious way. But I realized the way they were sharing it with me, it was not about religion. It was about a relationship,
Yeah.
right? So when I went through repentance, I turned away from sin. I became born again and I was filled with the Spirit. It did take a bit of time, but eventually God had completely set me free from depression. And I didn't even pray for it. It just happened in my like walk with God. It happened like naturally. My weed addiction got completely broken.
Hmm.
But I realized because I was living in sin, I'd opened doors to, let's say, these like spiritual entities that were also making me more depressed. So
Hmm.
like I feel there's a spiritual aspect to this world,
Hmm.
right? But there's also spiritual laws, right? So we can still believe in spirituality, but we can also still live in, let's say, like a form of deception, just because the devil also, this is why we see a lot of evil in the world. And you see all this war and all this crazy stuff, right? It's because the devil is at work in the world, right? And I feel that if we are living in sin, that opens doors for things to torment us. That's just my kind of my take on it.
Yeah.
I share it with people because I also want freedom for people. I would love people to also like have that sense of freedom. So if I don't share it, how are they supposed to know?
Yeah.
You know? Like, what are your thoughts on like just that, what I've shared there? Do you have anything to kind of add on that?
I mean, I'm glad that it worked for you.
Yeah.
Um, and I've never like when I grew up in an atheist family, but that doesn't mean that I've always just shut off the idea of it. Um, but just to me personally, even trying to like open myself up to the idea of that, it's never been successful for me and it's never been anything that works for me. I think I just can't put myself or put my feelings and the weight of the world onto this external force. it just doesn't really align with like how I see the world and my values. So even if I wanted to give it a try over and over again, I just
Yeah,
don't think I'd ever be able to believe in it and see it that way.
yeah, yeah. And obviously faith comes through time. It's not
Yeah.
like a one time, oh, I believe in it. And it's like, it's not really
No.
like that. But when you say that it's not really happened for like you, like in terms of success, um, like have you tried like looking at it, you said, or you just kind of like,
Well, I've never like shut myself off from learning about it. Like a lot of my friends in uni were part of the church
okay.
and I went to talks
So
that
you
they
went to
went
a couple
to.
of church talks and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I found them interesting and I found them
Yeah.
enjoyable. And I do appreciate like the community
Yeah.
of like the church.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't like the association of it being to this one entity that provides everything and like
Like, do you think we have a soul?
I don't really know.
You don't
I
think?
I don't think so. I think I'm very scientific on the basis of what we are. And like obviously we're more emotionally complex than just our biology. But when it comes to everything beyond that, I am very like scientifically
Yeah.
based in I just think things happen because they happen. And I think there's
Like,
that in
can
the
you,
world.
you believe that in the Big Bang theory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um yeah, and evolution and everything rather than like the creation of the world from this one person.
And when you say like an external thing, like putting your faith in something external, what makes you think it's external?
Well, it's not me, like, or like the people around me. Like, it's something non tangible for me to
Yeah.
relate to. Like, I'll put my faith in the people around me and my friends and my family. But in terms of putting my trust in an entity that may or may not exist,
Yeah.
just doesn't work for me. Doesn't.
Let's say you spent, I'm just giving you an example. Let's say you spent 1 to 2 months of just seeking God,
Yeah.
praying, going to church. And then let's say you had a true, real encounter with Jesus. You had a true spiritual encounter. It opened your spiritual eyes and you just knew that something was right. Like, would that maybe change your perception?
If
If
I
that did happen, for
Yeah, if
example?
I felt that I had a whatever it was, if I felt like I had seen, spoken to, felt
Yeah.
any sort of presence of a god or anything, then yeah, I wouldn't close myself off from it.
Okay.
But I also went to a Church of England primary school.
Yeah.
Like religion has been by my side through most of my
Yeah.
life. And none of those experiences have happened for me.
Yeah.
And I've never closed my mind to
Yeah.
it because I'm a very open minded person.
Yeah. I can
But
tell you are for sure. You definitely open a lot. And I think that there is a lot of people also in Christianity that see it as a religion, and maybe they don't have a real encounter with God, but they go because it's just part of who they are, right? But I believe that if we do seek God in all, it says in the Bible, if we seek God in everything we do, that He will like show up in our life as well. Like if we make a move to Him, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen straight away.
oh yeah.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight, but I also see God as an internal thing, not an external.
Hmm.
The reason being is because when you said, for example, you struggle with like ADHD and things like that, in a way, that's part of our identity. It's part of who we are. We've got that label, we've got this, we've got that, right? My identity is that Jesus Christ, He died on the cross, He took the punishment, and he died for me, He died for you, He died for everyone, right? So when I put my faith in that, the same spirit that rose Jesus from the dead also lives in me because that same Holy Spirit is within me. So I don't see actually God as an external.
Yeah.
I see it as like an internal thing kind of way because it's like an intimate relationship. Say that you have like a marriage or a partner. Like I spend quality time with God, praying, listening to the voice of God, and just like also using that for like, that's what brings my purpose and my call in, because I know that God has already chosen it before the foundation of the world, because he knows my heart's desires. He knows exactly what I want. He knows the hairs on my head. He knows everything about me. And when I surrender to the Father's love, he can give me so much more than any of my biological parents could ever done.
Okay.
Because when, you know, like we come out of the womb, right? We come out of our parents, out the womb, right? But that's the physical. Let's say there is a soul and there is a spiritual. Your spiritual muscle and that senses, you will feel that when you're partnered with your creator.
Okay.
Because it's like, so when you go to family, you feel like you're at home with them, or like your friends, because they're part of who you are, because you spend so much time with them. But if our creator did create us, then that for me is like a sign that, okay, not only am I reading the Bible, and I'm seeing the word of God and how God's character is, because a lot of people blame God for like the evil and stuff, but it says in the Bible it's Satan, right? But that's kind of my just addition on that, is that that when we have that real encounter, I feel that that's the thing that changes a lot of people, because it's not just words in a book.
Hmm.
It's actually a real tangible thing that you can kind of, let's say, put your finger on, or, you know, and understand it. So, but yeah, I don't want to obviously take too much of your time. Do you want to add anything on? Maybe add something on that, just what kind of, where you feel like your kind of life is taking you next, um, and just anything you want to kind of add, any message to anyone.
Gonna say in terms of where my life is going next, what I'm really trying to do is not think about it, because I think too much, and that's kind of the problem. And I think I would rather just live more in the now than in the what's going to happen in the future. I don't mean be oblivious to it. You've got to make plans, you've got to do certain things, but I spent too much time thinking about the future, what I want to do, what I don't want to do. Um, so I think I've just found a lot more peace in living, yeah, day to day, living with the people that I know now, just enjoying each day rather than thinking about when the next good thing is going to be.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, so I don't know where my life's going to go next. And that's kind of what makes me feel a lot better.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you for your time. Can me and Cheryl pray for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.